Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to come to you live today to talk about what would your avatar say. If you happen to be catching this video live, do me a favor, hit pound live. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you happen to be catching me via the replay, do me a favor, hit pound replay and let me know where you are tuning in from. The thing that I want to talk about is don't discount some of the work, and more specifically, you don't want to discount some of the experiences that comes with entrepreneurship and that comes with your marketplace. Because if you do, it's going to show up when you show up in the marketplace. When it's time for you to create content, it's going to show up. When it's time for you to do retargeting, it's going to show up, which is why I titled this episode, What Would Your Avatar say? Oftentimes, I fight things because I don't 100% understand it per se. The majority of my career, I worked in financial aid, and I've had the opportunity to work for different types of universities. I remember working for University A. When I worked for University A, one of the things that University A allowed me to do is I had the opportunity to bring in new financial aid officers. And those financial aid officers, from a prerequisite standpoint, it wasn't necessary that those individuals had experience. So because of that, I was able to hire people with no financial aid experience, and I was able to train them and allow those individuals to get up to speed. And at some point, they were able to contribute towards the overall success of the college per se. Right. So that was my experience for, University A per se. And then at some point, I decided to go work for College B. And when I went to go work for College B, I noticed that there were some barriers per se. And some of those barriers were they would not allow the hiring process to happen unless that person had prior financial aid experience. So that was one of the prerequisites. I couldn't hire people unless that person had financial aid experience. And at first, you know how sometimes when you're introduced to something, you kind of say, okay, man, I don't know why this doesn't make sense, so on and so forth. And that was my mindset at the time. But then again, the longer I started working for this place, I started to kind of just notice something. I started noticing that the people that they brought in, again, those individuals had to have financial aid experience. The people that they brought in, these individuals were up to speed just a lot quicker. I'm a very data-driven type of a guy, and I'm a very observant type of a guy. And what I would see is they would hire this person, and within weeks, this person would be doing so much volume. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, why is this person doing so much volume, so quickly? How is it this person understands the process so fast and so quickly? And the reason why is because that person understood the avatar. That person understood the process. That person understood the nuances, and that person understood, all of the challenges that someone would have, and they understood that very quickly. So thereby, from a contribution standpoint, they were able to make a contribution, just that much, faster. What I have found sometimes with myself and sometimes with some of the people that I work with, sometimes we do understand our avatar, but we understand our avatar only at a surface level. And when that happens, right, it makes it just that much harder for us to connect with them. If I go back to say, my dating site, I knew that the problem that I wanted to solve is I wanted to help individuals to connect with other individuals on, the dance floor to find, a date per se. However, at the beginning, there were a lot of questions that I could not successfully answer. And because I couldn't successfully answer some of those questions, and because I didn't understand the avatar at a deep level per se, it took me time to gain, any traction. So, I say all of this to say that at some point, I had to do that work, because if I didn't properly do that work, it would make it just that much harder for me to go ahead and connect. So, for you, if you're having a hard time with connecting with your target market, the thing that I would challenge you to do is to be able to write down a couple of different questions and just say to yourself, what would my target audience, say? What would my avatar say? If I'm asking my avatar, hey, I want you to do, publish 30 pieces of content in the next 45 days, what would they say? What would some of those objections be? Why would those objections be? What are some of the fears? What are some of the mishaps? What are some of the questions they would ask? Because if I understand and I know what some of those questions are, then I can go ahead and answer those questions, and I can go ahead and outline a framework and or a map that's going to allow those individuals to be able to solve that problem. And when I can do that, what they're going to say is they're going to say, okay, this individual understands me. they understand my pain point, not just at a surface level, but they understand my pain point at a deeper level per se. And based on you understanding that, that's what's going to allow the connectivity. That's what allows you to create content. That's what allows you to create marketing. And that's what allows you to go ahead and create the bond. So, don't, discount that work, because that work is going to help you. Right now, if you, understand your target market very well, and you know what some of their pain points are, and the problem that you could be experiencing is a marketing and or lead generation problem, I invite you to schedule a free marketing consultation call, whereby we'll take a look at your marketing process and identify the one thing that you should be doing to move your marketing forward. You can go ahead and take advantage of that free call by going to VladimirAdonis.com. Pound live if you happen to be catching this video live. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Pound replay if you're catching this via the replay. Let me know where you are tuning in from. That's it. That's all I have for you today. I'll talk to you soon.